And welcome back to Live with the Tribe as we're going to look at our ICC Spotlight being presented by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, a proud sponsor and a proud partner with the college here at ICC.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back to Live with the Tribe here on ESPN 95.1 The Fan. When you start the first show of the year, you got to start with high expectations, and you go to the top. We're welcoming Dr. Jay Allen, the ICC president, onto the show. Dr. Allen, thank you for taking time to join us.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you having me on the show with you today.
Well, Dr. Allen, we did this last year, first season of Live with the Tribe. Welcome you back to the second season as well, and we kind of just talked about the role of athletics at a place at the college. So from that point, I guess a year later, you've got your feet under you a little bit better. Just talk about kind of just your feet back under you a little bit more now and kind of your view of the college.
Well, you know, the college still remains just to be an amazing place. I learn something new every day, and it's a great opportunity to find out the really unique environment that we provide for our students, the great environment that we provide, and I think we're growing our campus life culture tremendously, and I'm excited about that. It's exciting to see what athletics and all of those things that are connected to athletics brings to the college life. Band, cheerleading, all those things that come together that make it really a great campus atmosphere.
Now, when you say college life, what is your definition of college life?
Well, you know, when you come to college, you look for those engagement opportunities, and we want our students to have a rich set of engagement opportunities, and both inside and outside the classroom. So sometimes their learning experiences we think are only tied to the classroom, and the reality is they go way beyond the classroom. And so we want them to have those engagement opportunities with faculty and staff where they're going to continue to learn about their subject matter, but then also they'll grow as leaders, but they'll just have fun experiences at college. And so we want that to occur on our campus every day.
All right, well, let's talk about, first we do that, of course, athletes are athletes. They've got a lot of responsibilities. But one thing that we really focus on here at ICC under your leadership and the great leadership of our AD, Carrie Ball Williamson, is the fact that they're student athletes.
No doubt.
Student comes first.
No doubt.
And they've had a lot of success in the classrooms over the years.
They have, and I always try to speak with every sports program before their season starts. We also include our band members in that, our cheerleaders, and we sit and we have a conversation about the fact that they are students first, and they must perform in the classroom before they can ever really perform on a field, a court, a stage, or anywhere else for that matter, a diamond. And we want to make sure that they are performing in that classroom because they've got to be successful with that. That will follow them throughout life. So we really focus on that, and we try to harp on that, and we're built to take students and make them successful. So this last year, we had 58 students that were on the MACJC all-academic team here in our state. Another 26 of those made it to the NJCAA all-academic team. Those are tremendous feats, and so that's something we continue to promote. Of course, this past fall, we had 45 students on the president's list that are student athletes, which is a 3.8 or higher GPA, another 27 on the dean's list. Really neat to think about. Women's soccer team had 12 players on the president's list. That is tremendous. And so they're excelling in the classroom and on the field. Had one of their best seasons, or I guess the best season we've ever had.
Yes, absolutely.
In women's soccer.
And one thing that a lot of people, if you're not a student athlete, not a former student athlete, don't realize is that it's a full-time job.
Very much.
You've got your classwork, your responsibilities, because if you don't, like you said, don't take care of that, you don't get to play.
That's right.
You're not eligible.
That's right.
Then you've got to earn your time, earn your stripes on the field. So just talk about your perspective of what it takes to be a successful student athlete.
You've got to come in with the right focus. And the reality is it's going to take hard work. It's going to take hard work in that sport. It's going to take hard work in the classroom. And then, unfortunately, the part that sometimes I think college students in general forget is it's not just in the classroom, it's back at home. And it's back in the dorm room. It's back in the library. You've got to sit down and really focus on the course materials, the notes you've taken, and really pour through that and internalize that. And that's how success is built. Very few athletes show up and just play a game. It takes practice. It takes training. It takes weightlifting and the like to build you up. And I think about twice last year, if I remember correct, I was here beyond midnight, or right around midnight to welcome back, I think it was the softball team when they had 2 major accomplishments in their season. And I was able, just happened to be at home, I was able to come over to campus and visit with them as that bus rode back in town. Well, I started thinking about the fact how tired I was, the sleep deprivation that was causing for me.
Yep.
And here are these players, they got to go to class the next day.
Yeah.
They're studying on the bus.
Yes.
They've been on the bus for 6 hours after playing, and they've got to prep for their next day of class. It is really it's a daunting task to be a student athlete.
You know, and that's one thing, and I'm not saying this because you're here, but that's one thing that's really impressed me. You make it a point to be interactive with not only our student athletes, but our student body in general.
Right.
And you can tell that really has flipped a positive perspective from our students. You know, you go around, you provide teams with Powerade at the start of the season. Why is that something that's very important to you?
You know, we ask a lot of our student athletes, we ask a lot of our students, but you know, when you think about our student athletes, we ask for them to share their time and talent with us, and I want to support them through that, let them know that we care, that we're going to be there to support them. I'm not going to make it to every game, unfortunately, but I'm going to be at all I can. But us also with our student body as a whole. You know, I do a lot of things in my role as college president that aren't always fun.
Right, right.
But they're important.
Yes.
But there are things I get to do that are fun, and that is pouring myself into our students and their experiences, find out what they're excited about, what they're not excited about, watch them excelling, and support them in those efforts. That's what makes it a lot of fun for me. And meetings can get pretty boring, and they get pretty monotonous, and there's a lot of them. They fill my day up. But to know that tonight I'm going to get to go over and watch some students excel on the court in basketball, the band there, the pep band, 100+ strong in there playing tonight, it's going to be an exciting atmosphere, and that just gives me something to look forward to at the end of the day.
Most definitely. Well, I'm going to take a quick break. You got time to stick around
Sure.
with more?
Yes.
Awesome. We'll come back with more of Live with the Tribe right here on ESPN 95.1 The Fan, and for those that are watching on a tape delay here on YouTube. So back with more right after this. And welcome back to Live with the Tribe as we're talking with Dr. Allen, the president here at ICC, talking a little athletics, its role on campus, and we'll talk a little bit more about the non-athletic side of things before we get out of here this afternoon. Real quick, you know, we talk about the student athletes, but it's not just student athletes. We've got arguably some of the greatest coaches in the state, if not the country, and that's what really helps build successful programs from the floor up is the unity, the family that amongst our coaches. Kind of talk about that.
You know, it takes a lot to be a coach at this level. Not only are you having to go out and recruit, which is a never-ending process, you're then also having to build the talent. You have to do that talent development with the players that you've recruited, that you have on campus, develop them, grow them. And I challenge our coaches, don't just grow them as an athlete, grow them as a person. Mm-hmm. And I hope that that's what will occur. And I tell mom and dads that that's what I expect to occur. Yeah. And that at the end of the day, they should be a better athlete and a better person for their time here, as well as pretty well educated, which is a pretty good piece. But it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time from family and friends away to do all of that. But I think for them, they love what they do. They get so many rewards from working with these student athletes. And let's face it, they've put a lot of trust in 18 and 19-year-olds. Yes. And they only have them for 2 years. It's different than a 4-year university setting. They only have that athlete for 2 years. So it's a constant churn of new athletes coming in. But makes it so unique and so challenging for them. And then I think, too, they get to celebrate those successes. They get to see their players going on to play at the next level. Yep. And so oftentimes when you're in that 4-year university setting, they either make it to the pros or they're doing something else. Right. And so for ours, there's still that opportunity not only to go to the university level, but they may be in the pros one day, as we've had much success with.
And you kind of touched on it there for a split second, talking about time away from the family.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize. You know, you see a coach on the floor or on the field, you think that's what they do.
That's right.
They've got practice, time away. I know one thing that you've talked to me about is time management, taking time for yourself, the importance of that, and that's one thing I'm working on.
Yes,
But how do you I guess you and Coach Ball maybe kind of encourage our coaches to remember, hey, you're not just ICC.
That's right. You know, as I'm on the road a tremendous amount in my role and back and forth to Jackson and other places, I noticed that our coaches are gone a lot as well, and they're scouting in many cases. They're out looking, watching high school games, and then recruiting those athletes, evaluating the talent that's out there. And it takes a lot of their time it's important, and we try to make sure that they are encouraged to take the time when it is that rare part of their year where it's the down season. And some of them have some built-in dead days and things where they can't really do any recruiting or anything else. It's a great time to take a family trip. If you ever notice, our coaches will take family trips at the oddest times of the year because that's when that fits in.
Yeah.
And I always love to celebrate when they're able to spend that time with their family. I think that's a great thing. The other thing is when we think that sport has finished, it's really in some respects only begun.
Right.
Because it's almost immediately they're out there bringing in the next year or 2 years later set of athletes in for visits and things on campus, and it's so neat to see that. It's also neat to see how our current student athletes pour themselves into that recruiting process because they want to continue the tradition that we're building every day. And they want to see that, and they want to get the next best athlete in this place to carry on what they've built.
Now, I know you try to be a part of that when you can on the recruiting process. I've noticed you go out of your way sometimes to talk to the families coming in. That's valuable when they see that from top to bottom, the ICC. And that's one thing I always hear from everybody. This place feels like a family. And that's very important because we are the hashtag ICC family.
That's right. And we spend a lot of time here, and it should be a family. And we want to celebrate the successes together and encourage each other during the times of disappointment. And that's just part of what you do. But it's important for those families to know that when they're entrusting their child to us, that we're going to take care of them and we're going to grow them. And there'll be some tough love involved at times, but there's going to be a lot of hugs and pats on the backs and opportunities to grow and get better. And I think that's what every parent wants for their child. And so that's what I want them to see with us. And it's important to know that when they go to these games, there's people there supporting them. Right. Now, one of the things that I think is unique about ICC, and Adam, you and your team are really responsible for this, is we have one of the best streaming
I appreciate that.
of our athletic programs of any community college in the state and probably in the country. And it's pretty unique, and it's not something we spend a ton of money or energy on. Well, y'all spend a lot of energy on it, you do. But it's the talent that we have behind these cameras and on the microphones and behind the mindset of what we do, because that allows moms and dads that can't travel to the game to be able to watch it. And that's important. And when we have students that we do have some from out of state, we have some from out of country, but also our family members that just can't get away from work all the time. Even though they may live in the state, it's a great way to be able to watch their child play ball.
And that's one thing, Lee Adams, Raphael Henry, for those that may not know, that's kind of how we base our job, is how can we make this feel like their family members are here while experiencing that as well. Now, she hasn't said anything, but Mo's in the office with us today as well.
That's right.
Talk about your role as the president. You're everywhere. You need about 3 more of you, but how do you personally make time for your family?
Well, it is challenging at times, and there's times of the year where it's worse than others. And as spring approaches, it gets really challenging with legislative responsibilities, all of the items here at the college, all of our athletic programs that really get geared up on top of each other in the spring. It makes it challenging. So you fit that in where you can, and you try to make the important moments really, really count. And there's times where my 2 girls know that I'm going to miss some things. But there's also times where I'm going to get to make some things. And when we can, we definitely go spend time together as a family and go have experiences. In fact, we'll be traveling this weekend for travel volleyball.
There you go.
And for our oldest. And so that'll be some family time. It'll also be a time with some friends to visit and those type of things while we're there at the tournament. And so there's those neat opportunities, and you got to capitalize on that when you can. But I think also the great thing is my family comes and goes to these sporting events with me. And the performance groups, the music groups and like that on campus, they go to those with me when they can. And it's an opportunity for us to continue to be together. And for my girls, they get to be exposed to something that not necessarily everybody in the world is exposed to on a regular basis because they live on a college campus. So they get to see so many different things, which I think just enhances their view of the world.
Yeah, and I might hand somebody $5 so they can get Mo to speak to them.
That's right. Molly Ann speaking is difficult at times, but sometimes she's pretty loud at the house, but she's not so loud out in public.
That's what it is. She's got to get comfortable.
That's right.
Comfortable with you. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to step away one more time and come back and wrap things up. Just kind of talk about the college overall. You're listening to Live with the Tribe here on ESPN 95.1 The Fan. Back with more right after this. And welcome back to Live with the Tribe. We're talking with ICC President Dr. Jay Allen about just ICC athletics, its role on the campus here at ICC, and we are Institute of Higher Learning.
Yes.
And so we don't have just athletics here. We have a lot of amazing men and women that work on this campus, whether it be in the classroom, from the physical plants,
Yes.
anything like that. We are very blessed to have a talented group
We
of
are.
individuals here. Just talk about the college overall, just your vision right now, and maybe some of the things that, of course, we're having the work going on the Tupelo campus. The Belden Center is growing like crazy.
Yes.
Just take this time to kind of just an overview of the non-athletic side of the college.
Sure. You know, the college it has a tremendous responsibility to serve a lot of roles for our community, and we have to be really all things to our community. It's unique when you think about it that you're taking students and you're bringing them in at all levels of readiness for college, and we make them successful. We help them be successful. It takes great faculty in order to do that. We can't do it without great faculty. They support our students. They help grow them. They challenge them, and they provide that support structure around them for them to be successful. Then it also takes our supporting structure of staff in the instructional area as well as student services area to help them get enrolled, to help them be successful, to help them find the things they need in order to be successful in the classroom and out. We house 1,000 students.
And that's a lot more than people realize.
It is. It's a lot more people realize. So there's 1,000 students that are on this campus 24 hours a day, in some cases 7 days a week. And so it takes a lot to keep all of that rolling, but it creates a really neat campus atmosphere as well. Student activities, giving our students that opportunity for those engagement points in and out of the classroom is really, really vital. All of the different things that clubs, organizations that it takes to keep things going is important. We can't do that without dedicated faculty and staff. And then you take our Tupelo campus, who is it's all commuter students. They're all commuting in and out every day. It serves a unique role because we have career tech programs there that don't exist anywhere else in our district, and that's great to have them there. And they do a wonderful job with the students that they serve. Our nursing and allied health facility there is top notch. It's a beautiful facility, just wonderful. And those programs are there's really nothing else like them. They are just a wonderful opportunity. They're difficult.
Yes.
But the earning potential on the back end is tremendous. The career rewards are tremendous, but it is probably one of those programs are probably the most difficult educational programs in the country.
Yeah.
Now, then we got Belden, where we do workforce training. We
Yes.
help people find jobs through our WIN job centers and find services that they need. But we also help them get a GED or a high school equivalency credential. And then we start doing training with them to put them in the workforce, whether it be credit or non-credit. And it's great to have all that happen on that campus in the 250,000 square foot facility.
Yes.
It's just amazing. So I'm really proud of what we do in all of those areas, and it takes all of us working together to serve our community. In my opinion, we're one of the best economic development engines for our region. And that's part of our role. People don't always see it that way, but
Right.
we help people get to jobs and then grow them once they're there with our workforce training efforts as well.
And we encourage you to visit iccms.edu for more information on how you can maybe start a new career or enhance your career now. We're the final minutes here. I almost called you Coach Allen. Goodness,
that's right.
no, Dr. Allen. Just your vision for the college. Where's it going?
My vision is that we get a little bit better every day. We should be working to make incremental improvements. Now, some days we're going to make some big leaps.
Yes.
We are. But if every employee at this institution gets a little bit better every day, and at what they do, they're a little bit better every day, and their division, their department, their office is a little bit better every day, we're going to do some amazing things.
Great.
If I'm the only one that's providing the leadership, we're probably in trouble because I can't do it all.
Right.
But I can empower people to do some great things. And so that's my goal, is that we're going to empower people to stretch. I talked about at our convocation this fall that we have to be willing to fail. We have to be willing to fail. We cannot fear failure. Because if we're going to stretch, if we're going to really reach out there,
Yes.
we may fail sometimes. And that's okay. It's what do we take from that failure? How do we learn from that? How do we grow from that? And then get better for the next attempt. And that's what we should be doing. And so it's my goal that we will be doing that. There's some really neat things happening here. Growth at our Tupelo campus with that new facility there, the academic and student services building. So many new opportunities coming and new programs and services. I'm excited to see what the next couple of years hold.
Well, Dr. Allen, I know you're Your time is valuable. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come talk to us and spread the good word about ICC. And we hope to maybe catch up with you as this show continues. So we're going to come back with more of the Live with the Tribe and see what's coming up at ICC right after this on ESPN 95.1 The Fan. And that's going to do it for Monday's edition of Live with the Tribe. Now, don't forget, basketball is on the road tonight at Holmes. The First American National Bank opening tip for the Lady Indians is scheduled for 6 p.m., and the Indians are scheduled to follow at 8 p.m. Just a programming note, we will not be broadcasting the games tonight on Let'sGoICCTV.com or right here on ESPN 95.1 The Fan. Instead, you can tune in to the Holmes broadcast on HolmesCCmedia.com. That's HolmesCCmedia.com. Now, just in case you didn't get that, we'll have the links available on the women's and men's schedule pages on Let'sGoICC.com, and we'll be tweeting out the links throughout the night as well. Speaking of tweeting, that's a great segue into promoting our social media platforms. You can keep up with everything ICC athletics by following Let's Go ICC on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. You can also see highlights of other special videos, including an abbreviated version of this afternoon's Live with the Tribe by searching Let's Go ICC on YouTube. While you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for alerts for all the latest and greatest videos coming your way each week on our YouTube channel. Let's take one final look at what's coming up this week in ICC athletics presented by our friends at Little Caesars. Thursday night, basketball returns to the Davis Event Center as the Lady Indians and Indians play host to the Rangers of Northwest at 5:30 and 6:30. Now, those games will be available on Let's Go ICC TV and right here on ESPN 95.1 The Fan starting at 5:20 with the Davis Ford pregame show. On Friday, the women's and men's tennis teams are scheduled to open their season against Meridian. The matches are slated to begin right around 1 o'clock at the Johnson Partlow Tennis Complex on the Fulton campus. We'll talk to head coach Michael Metz about the upcoming season a little bit later on this week. And then Saturday, the number 10 ICC softball team was open their season at Jackson State Community College in Tennessee. The First American National Bank opening pitch is scheduled for noon. But, as always, this time of year, our spring sports schedules of events are scheduled to change thanks to the always undefeated wrath of Mother Nature. So you'll want to be sure and visit Let'sGoICC.com to check out the schedule for baseball, softball, tennis, and golf, see if there's any changes throughout the seasons. So one final time, I want to say a thank you to our very special guest this afternoon, Dr. Jay Allen, our fearless leader here at ICC. For more information on how you can become a member of the ICC family, be sure to visit applied.iccms.edu. That's applied.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College, the best start here. I'm Adam Gore. Have a blessed day, and as always, Roll Tribe.